It's been almost a week, y'all, that I haven't come live. I said I was going to try and do weekly observations because I am on a research journey here on the homestead. Those of you who are returning, thank you. Those of you who are new, welcome. I am Dr. Eve, and on my channel, we talk about all things living well and building a strong home economy from the soil up. And I am conducting an observation research over the winter just to see how things are growing in their natural environment. And I do have them all covered tents. So we're going to see how things are going naturally in a covered setting. Okay. So we're going to go and explore. I'm going to take you with me to explore tent number one, tent number two, and tent number three. Here goes, everybody. Let's go on this journey. We are headed to tent number one right here, which is my greenhouse, the large greenhouse, center greenhouse, which is getting all of this good heat, condensation, and it's got summer crops. So here we are in tent number one, and it's looking absolutely beautiful in here. We're going to look around at some of the plants that we observed last week to see how things are going. More specifically, our summer crops, because that's what we're studying right now is our summer crops. And I still notice that I'm getting some condensation a little bit. But what I notice is that the condensation is only happening when the sun actually hits the tent. So the water isn't actually really ice cold. I'm feeling it now, but there is some condensation that is coming down. So let's go over here to this area where we were looking at these peppers and we were looking at tomatoes. We were looking at serrano peppers, the hot peppers. And we talked about this very first one here and all the blooms that it was getting. So since last week, this thing has grown immensely. It's still growing, it's still producing, it's still thriving. It's doing absolutely amazing. Look at all the fruit that's hanging from it. This is tent number one that's still growing here in zone 8. This is the experiment, an observational experiment that I'm conducting in my grow spaces. So this is the one serrano plant that's doing well. It's loaded with greens at the bottom. The greens are growing vastly. I love it, love it, love it. They're growing. They had water once this week. And so we're going to, okay, there's a flower there. So I've been trying to keep these pinched back because this is basil. And we know that basil does not thrive in the frost, but we had a frost last night. But here in the tent, they're preserved, and so this is part of what we're looking at. This is part of the observation that we're looking at here in our tent settings. Here in this back plant, we also have broccoli and greens growing and thriving. My goodness, I'm gonna measure them because I know that has at least doubled. I want to say doubled in size. And this is also in a bag with the serrano pepper. Looking here at another serrano pepper. Can y'all see all the baby leaves? I just want y'all to see all these new leaves. This is observation tent number one. Do y'all see all the new leaves? Now, it's about, I want to say 45, 50 degrees here, maybe. Maybe 50 degrees. The condensation that's coming down onto the greens is just like cold water. That's what it feels like. These are the greens. This is another broccoli and collards. But I want to show you something. This is the pepper plant. This is the pepper plant. Now, there's two peppers here. Last week we said that y'all see how big the pepper has gotten? since last week. It's steadily growing, just like its sister over here is growing. And we have new leaves, new buds, and new leaves. So that is what we're observing. How is it growing? How's it doing? It is kind of cool out here. I did notice that this plant that's in here in the bag with it. It's growing, but not as big. Oh, there's two of them. So there's two collard plants in here. It's growing, but not as quick as those there. So the serrano pepper bag, the green peppers are growing, getting tall quickly. I mean, the collard greens and the broccoli are getting multiplying quickly. This one is kind of small. It's a heavy feeder, but it's a pepper. We know peppers are heavy feeders, and so are collards. So that's what we observed here, and we're observing this here in the tent. Let's go here. This is more basil. I want to see if it has any flowers on it, because these are still growing, but I want to make sure that they're not holding flowers because we don't want them to flower. We just want them to grow wide. We want them to continue growing if they feel so good. They're doing okay, and I'm very happy about that. We're going to see how well they continue to do as the temperatures get lower and lower and lower, because what I'm not going to do is let them die. But what we do know here in this bag with this herb, the my goodness, Jesus, basil, the basil. We also have three. We have three plants in this one. We have one broccoli back here, and we have two greens. And look at how tall they are. They are growing enormously. We have another herb back here with a smaller plant in it, and it's steady, but there's also a broccoli in there. We're just going to be measuring, seeing how good these plants are doing. But do y'all see that broccoli back there? Y'all see that broccoli back there inside that pot? That's in a pot with um, habanero peppers. Now, let's look at the patio. This is a patio pepper. Ooh, that pepper smells good. That smells really good. This patio pepper I'm looking at has two new blooms on it. Two new blooms here. It also has a pepper down here that's growing. It's hitting the ground a little, but it's a little baby. But we do have a pepper. And the basil is continuing to grow. So it's doing well. We're going to pull off these to make sure we don't have no flowers. And it smells so, so good in here. Now, I'm going to swing back over here because we have a couple more. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have a couple more of these basil plants with flowers because, you know, they're still trying to flower, but we're pinching them back because we want them to just keep growing. We're measuring to see just how well can these plants thrive in this tent setting. Again, it is 50 degrees here. This is observation tent number 1, and these plants are doing amazing. Now, let me share with you. Y'all see that wind? Y'all see how that's blowing, right? So you can tell it's very cold. It's cold here today. But this is the observation tent. It's open right now because I'm in here. I could have zipped it up to control it a little bit, but I'm just going to let it stay open as naturally as it does. This one, we also have collard greens in the bottom, and they're growing as well. Now let's move on over here to, these are brand new peppers that brand new tomatoes, a couple new tomatoes I added from outside. I said, well, I'm not going to let them die. I'm just going to let them see what happens. And look, Y'all see that? New blooms. Let's walk on over here to another one of my basil plants. And this one last week, I noticed that there were some droppings on it, and I was curious as to what kind of droppings those were, but I don't see them anymore. So, but the plant itself is doing well, and it also has collards at the bottom, and they are doing well as well. Now let's look at this. This is my clomidin, and this was a transplant. It had transplant shock, but it is bouncing back. The leaves are turning green. We have the clomidines on there. This grows all year once it starts growing, but I took it up in the middle of its blooming season. So, but there we go. It's doing well, bouncing back very nicely. But this one is a lemon. Look at there, y'all. In tint number 1, we have lemons, and they are thriving. They are doing well, and I'm super excited. Can you see that? And let's look over here. We have another. This is, I think this is a lime. And this one's in a shallower pot. So this one's in a very shallow pot. But it's doing well, and it also has holy basil in it. So we're looking at this holy basil that's here. Everything is natural as it was when I brought it from outside. This is a briar lemon back here as well. We were working on the discoloration of the leaves. What I'm noticing is that it has a bunch of new leaves, and the new leaves are green. So I'm not sure what's happening down there. We'll have to take a look at the research and see what that all means. And this is another briar. This is a Meyer lemon, and it's doing well. And I believe I saw a lemon on this one. Yep, I knew I did. There it is right there. It's blooming. You guys, it is chilly outside today. This is a annual plant we are observing as well. It's an annual. Once it gets cold, it's not going to come back, but it's had several blooms. It's had several blooms. It's still blooming, and it's still getting more blooms. It's just amazing to me. We also have our avocados down here. We got new leaves. Y'all see that? We have a new leaf. I took it out of a cold. They do not do well in the cold. They do not do well in zone 8. They are warm plants, warm weather plants, but I put them in here to observe to see how well they will do. This is another sereno, and we have peppers. Look at there. Isn't that exciting? And we have a bunch of new leaves. So all the new leaves, we're just going to keep watching them grow. This is a test tent that we are observing. These greens, look at there. Oh, you all see all the new leaves though? That's what I want y'all to see, is the new leaves. All the new leaves. This is a very warm setting before I open the door. Now let's go over here to the tomato section. We still have more basil over here to the left. We also have, it's in bed with broccoli. I love that, and that broccoli is doing well. So we are excited about that. And back here we have habaneros, which are super red and should have been taken off, but I'm just when I get to it, okay? And we have a bunch of greens down there, and they're looking well. Now, this is a tomato plant, y'all. Well, y'all see all of these tomatoes. I need y'all to see all of these tomatoes that's on this plant. Now, this plant is cold. It's cold. It's a little cold, but it has not stopped it from growing. It has not stopped it from producing. As a matter of fact, it's just getting new tomatoes every day. It's getting more tomatoes. So this one does not have any plants at its base. but it's got a ton of tomatoes, and it's got new tomatoes growing over here with its sister. Can y'all see that? So it's got new tomatoes growing as well. And this is one that's in a new bed with new tomatoes. Look at that. And they have doubled in size. These tomatoes have actually doubled in size. So we're excited. This has been 1 week since we looked at this. So I wanted to give it some time to see if there would be a difference in the growth. And the growth is tremendous. The productivity is tremendous. The coloration is absolutely beautiful. The flowers. Remember we gave these plants the yeast fertilizer. That's what I give blooming plants, yeast fertilizer. So y'all can see that it's got new blooms. It's got more new blooms coming in. It's got new blooms over here. It's got tons of new blooms. I'm gonna see if I can get you over there to see the new blooms. Y'all see all the tomatoes? It's got a ton of tomatoes. All the baby tomatoes are coming in. These plants are really thriving. And as you can see, it's very windy right now because I have their door open. I got to get on out of here. Y'all see all the new blooms? We have new blooms. We have tripled the blooms. Look at there. You can see for yourself the bloom activity is amazing. We have another avocado here. Look at it, it's thriving well. It's got its new leaves are doing beautiful. No browning. Absolutely gorgeous. Very, very, very nice. I am very impressed with this plant. Very impressed with what is happening here in tent number 1. We have, again, all the new blooms, all the new tomatoes, and they are thriving. They are thriving, and they are doing really well. So I'm excited. So we're going to head on over to, we're going to close this one up and head on over to tent number 2. Now, the difference between observation tent number 1 and observation tent number 2 is observation tent number 1 is all bags. All bags, everything is growing in bags. Observation tent number 2 is the tomatoes, which is what we're observing, and observing some citrus that's in the ground. The other bags, I'm not observing those, they just happen to be in there. So then we're going now to tent number 2, where the vegetables are actually in the ground. So follow me. All right, we're going to close this up because we want to get that heat back in there. I want to keep that heat going. So as you can see, I'm going to turn around. You can even see the marigolds coming through this tent. Now remember I said that this tent is outdoors. These plants are all outdoors and in the ground, okay? We had a frost last night, and I just wanted to see just how well these plants were going to do. So we're going to walk on over here, walk under the tent. Probably going to tie that down a little bit because we want to keep them as warm as we can out here. This tent is only covered. It's not fully, it is not a full tent with all four, covered on all 4 sides. So let's go inside so you can see what's happening in here. So this is tent number 2. And in tent number 2, it got frost last night, but it didn't hit these plants because these plants are covered. Now, what we want to see is that these are the tomatoes that are in the ground. I said, well, if we're gonna see how long they're gonna last, if we want to measure, we're just gonna measure it in its natural environment and see how long they can stay alive. That's the goal, right? See how long they stay alive. And what you will see is new fruit, new flowers. The fruit is still doing well and getting bigger and bigger because these are beefsteaks. As you can see, we are still getting new blooms, new tomatoes. What I did notice though is we have some spotting here. So I'm not sure what that is. Could be frost, I don't know. But we're going to take it off. It is kind of cold. But look at there. More fruit. Let's see. More fruit. More fruit. So let's just keep going. These are in bags. We're not monitoring these, but if you want to see something, you can catch those new kales that are growing down there. I put some more seeds in these bags. So while these are growing, these babies can get started, and I will have a continuous growth of kale in this tent. We do see more flowers growing. As I shared with you, I use a yeast fertilizer for my fruiting plants, and you can see all of those green, all of those yellow. You see the new ones down there. They're doing well. Everything is thriving. Oh my goodness, look at that one. Look there. You see all those flowers? You see all those flowers there? It's kind of cold. The plant itself is kind of cold, but y'all, it's very green. It's very green. It's still flowering. We're gonna see how well it does. We'll take some pictures and post them. And let's go on over here. But as you can see, the marigolds are still alive. Everything is thriving well. Now this one's standing as tall as me. I'm probably gonna have to lift this tent up at some point because it has reached its heights. So it's down on its first level. So I'm probably gonna have to raise the tent to keep it from, look at that, to keep it from hitting the ceiling so it can grow. I'll probably have to disengage these little black ties so that they can I can raise the tent. But they are doing very, 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 very well. Now let's move over here to my mandarin orange. Remember I told y'all last year that she died from frost? Well, she came back, and this year I covered her up. She's in the ground. I also filled her base with straw to keep her warm down there. Uh-oh, this one is off. This tent is off. I'm going to tie this one in. This is my lime. This is another lime. Let me see what kind. It's a Mexican lime bush. And she's doing well. You know, they don't like the frost. But we covered her up. She's got a lot of flowers. And I'm excited to see what kind of fruit she gets. And how she does. I know we're getting new leaves. I can see that. She's beautiful. She's nice and green. And there's lots of fruit coming in. So I'm really, really excited. Tonight, before she goes to sleep, I'm gonna tie that plastic around her so that her covering doesn't come off. All right, let's go over to the last tent, which is tent number 3. And this is the tents within tents. Tent number 3. This is the one that has the tents within the tent. We also have summer vegetables in here, mostly cold, and we'll just walk in and see what's happening here. So I am very, very pleased with what's happening in here because, again, we have this tomato that's thriving. It's got doubled It's doubled the flowers that it has. It's doubled the flowers. Doubled in its flowers and its fruit. So there's fruit and lots of flowers. I'm really excited about that. This one is the pepper that's growing with some lettuce, and it's in a shallow, both of these are in shallow pans. So I needed to make that inference so that you are all know that these are in the like pots and they're in the same tent. So we're looking at and comparing what's happening in those tents as well. So we got peppers here, strong peppers here, strong peppers, very, very strong peppers. They're green, a little brown. This one's a little, eh. There was a bloom here. I don't know what happened. So it kind of is black. It's not gonna grow. So that fruit did not fruit. That did not fruit. So we know we are observing what is happening. Now these leaves are very cold right now. They're, oh wait, but here's more fruit over here. Okay, that one is coming through. Okay. So that's what we have here, y'all, in the tent. A few more things that are going on in this tent is our drying methods. We're drying our flowers. We're drying our stevia, some basil, our holy basil, and plants that I've already dried. Our seeds from our roselle. We also have some other plants that need to go out still. Everything is still looking really good. Our apples, I need you to see that. The apples are doing tremendous. These are our apple trees, and they have taken off. They are doing very, very, very well. Super excited. I only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 out of 16 that actually survived. And that is our update. And I grew those from seeds, by the way. That is our update for today from the observation tents. It's kind of nippy out here, so I'm not going to leave my tents open today. It was 77 degrees yesterday. 77. It's not 7. We had a drop in temperature by almost 30, 40 degrees. It got down into the 30s, 30 somethings, 32 last night. It was frosty. So things hit the frost. I came out and covered things up to keep things kind of safe. And I'm just going to walk around real quick and do an observation of all the vegetables. As you can see, fall is setting in. This is the leaf of my kiwi berry that it's probably won't have any leaves next week. But it will have lettuce. It will have lettuce because I am maximizing the use of my space. These are my Brussels sprouts and my lacinato kale doing very, very well. I covered everything up. My marigolds are beautiful. They're doing well. But as you can see, fall is falling. But I'm going to collect all of these are acorns. So I don't know if you knew that, but acorns, chickens love acorns. So we're going to be collecting those for the chickens as feed. This plant got knocked over by the wind, or a cat, because that smells like a cat. These trees, this water is so heavy. It rained here last night. Oh man, I sure hope it didn't break that plant, because that water was heavy. But my 3 trees, I have 4 collard trees. I'm gonna stop covering them up because that water was heavy. So yeah, I have some collard trees. This is my cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, collards. Things are still growing here. I covered them all up because they're still a little young, and I didn't want them to get battered up too bad. But you can't keep them too covered because the leaves will get damaged. So because the water is sitting on the bags, so I have to come out, and these are very young. So this is the bag environment outside of the. So yeah, we're gonna look at these two again. We got a lot of rain. We had storm and rain, like stormy rain last night, and I had already watered them, so I didn't want them to stay uncovered. But this is another tree collard that came back. Lacianato kale. Looks like the tomato survived last night. Look. It's even got flowers on it. Y'all see it? It probably won't survive long, but that's what we have. Anyway, this one is some more collards and because baby, I believe. Ooh, look at the broccoli. The broccoli is surfacing, y'all. Look at that. Look at there. Let's see. Probably get some more. Now in these bags, remember I got collards and broccoli in these bags on purpose because the broccoli is a one-timer. So when the broccoli finishes, I'm going to start another one down there by seed. And this collard, we'll start another one by seed so that by January we'll have some more broccoli growing in there. So it's about succession planting. This bed back here is cabbage. It stayed uncovered, so it's doing well. It stayed, or did it? No, I think I uncovered it this morning. But yeah, they're doing well. So those are young. I grew those from seed. Let's go over here because this one is smashing up against some things. And this bed is full of water, but it's full of plants. Y'all see that? I have to keep it off because it needs a hoop. It actually needs a hoop so it won't smash the plants down. So everything's looking good. Even the okra's still standing. I was surprised. Very surprised at anything. It's so cold. It's very cold here. It's cold. It's cold, baby. It's cold here. So anyway, that's observation tent number. Observations tents have been reviewed. I'm just taking these covers off of these plants so that they don't get broken from the water, the heaviness of the water. So they don't break the young leaves, the young stems. So they're looking beautiful. Let me look over here because this is another big broccoli. And the way that broccoli was standing up, we might have another broccoli. Not yet. But it's coming. They are coming. So that's it for me in the garden today. There is a lot going on in my garden. Still, I love it. And our kale, like I said, it is doing well. And I covered everything up. I covered everything up. But I'm old enough to sustain the frost now, so I'm probably gonna stop covering them because I don't want them to get abused, especially on. Well, we probably won't get a whole lot more rain. At least I don't think so. But we'll see. Anyway, y'all, the tents have been observed. I want y'all to see these over here as well. These are everything is beautiful over here. I don't know if y'all remember what these look like, but the Russian sage has popped back up and it is just growing now that there's no bugs out here to eat them up. The Russian sage is doing beautiful. It's coming back full force. And, in the bag in there, in the closet. Anyway, y'all see all these beautiful kales here? All the beautiful vegetables, they all grew back. They were damaged by the bugs. So this is my my baby bok choy. I see something has been eating the leaves though, and that, I didn't have that behavior before, so something's still out here taking a taste or two. But they look good. Everything looks good. I'm very very excited, and I don't know why this is still standing. This roselle, it got hit though. It got hit by the frost. And this is the lettuce. Y'all see all the new lettuce in there? Cause baby, I put lettuce. Every day I plant some seeds in the basket because you want them to keep growing. You want things to keep growing, right? Anyway, that's it for our tour today. You guys, I am gonna keep you all take some screenshots so you all can see, so I can measure, so I can have it for my records, because I'm actually writing a paper about overwintering and just how long these summer crops can last at the temperatures that they are, because it is rather cold here. And so, yeah. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the tour. May you have the most amazing day in whatever you do. Don't let anyone get in the way on what it is God has you doing in this season. Bye for now.